part of it is like one of those ones where it's like, I'm hyped. There it goes. That because I'm gonna be selfish. Like there's gonna be some that are iconic that don't do it for me the same way as the ones I'm getting ready to pick.
I'm going based off of feelings. I don't care about winning. I'm going off my feelings. That's how I usually
I'm going at me. I'm
I,
going off like the ones I like.
yeah, that was what my list was. Now there's some classics on here. There's some great ones, and I feel like there'll be some overlap in our list that we have. But yeah, yeah,
Let's
I'm
get
ready.
it.
And some honorable mention too.
Oh yeah, there are gonna be some honorable mentions. Well, I'm gonna start off. Welcome back to another episode of Requesting Good Company. Here we are. We got Bryan with us today. CK, he with us. Well, today we're doing best wrestler intros of all time. All time. And the funny thing about this kind of episode is we all have watched wrestling growing up. We all watching wrestling continuous. I think that this episode, in my opinion, is going to be great because we're going to get to see our opinions.
I feel like the best thing about doing some of these is like the guests and who we get to be on the pod with us and talk about it. Bryan, if you don't mind, could you just give like just a little bit on what got you into wrestling and then what's got you like still with wrestling? Like what about it is where's the appeal for you?
Oh man, obviously as a kid watching it, it was real. Like people get hit with chairs, people getting put through tables. The Attitude Era is when I grew up. The heart of it. Stone Cold Steve Austin, DX, New Age Out, all of that. Undertaker was big, Rock. Like just seeing them like be like those big time stars and the excitement and just like I go to school on Monday, but like man, I'm ready to get out. I'm ready to be able to watch Raw is War and Warzone, tonight because wrestling was big time then. And just excited. I watched it with my family. I'll never forget. I got baptized on. It was when WrestleMania 2000. It was my sister's 10th birthday. We all three got baptized on her birthday, and that was a gift we got. We got to watch WrestleMania on that Sunday. First pay per view I ever got to watch. So like wrestling growing up, like my mom was a big wrestling fan. Like my dad, he was all right with it, but like that was something that we did as a family on Monday nights. Watching it, going crazy. I even remember getting in trouble riding home from school because there was a song that said something like "Make you suck it" like D Generation X, and I did the suck it chop. And my mom, you better not do that. But it was still something that, like we got to like really enjoy and like as a family. And then I did lose my way like probably early 2000s up until I graduated from college and I moved in with my best friend and like he got me back into wrestling. So this is around 2012, 2013, and I have not stopped watching since. Like it's a weekly thing that me and my wife do now. Like we have to stay up on it. So for me, I guess wrestling ends up being something that kind of gets the family together. But the excitement of it all, and then like to see how it evolves from what it was in the Attitude Era to what they call the Ruthless Aggression Era with John Cena to what we are in now. And I don't even know if they really, I don't even know if they really labeled this era and what it is, but it's definitely a new school, but with still some of the old school feel to it. It just gets me excited, man. I really do enjoy watching it. Like I get to feel like a kid again for what now 8 hours a week because I watch all three of the WWE shows and just get to watch it and be wrapped up in this soap opera. And I am one of those people that get mad when you say it's fake. It's scripted, yeah, but it ain't fake because you're not taking them bumps. Them hits hurt. Like we was watching Monday Night Raw just before I came down here because we were a little bit behind, and like lady got hit in the face. Like I don't even know how it happened, but she had a gas. I'm like, you can't fake that. That's not fake.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So, but no, man, I just, huh?
It's athleticism for sure.
Yeah, like in like the coordination that it takes to do some of the stuff that those people do. Like they're real life athletes. Like that takes real skill to be able to do that. And to be able to sell and make it look as painful as they do. Like I think there's a real art to it. So like they're being athletes, they're being actors, and like you realize like the work that they put into it too when you watch something like the behind the scenes stuff, like that really makes you appreciate it. So like getting back in as much as I have is really like reminded me how much I really love it. And again, it's a part of my weekly thing. I watch it so much.
Hey. And on that, I'm definitely ready to draft now. It's up. It's up, man. I'm hyped for this one, man. We got good company with us in the building. All right, go ahead, because I'm ready now.
The order has been predetermined. You know, we do the randomizer, so it's no fishy business. Luckily, I got the first pick. Then it goes Bryan, Chris, back around. So with the first pick, it's some man.
If you smell it's cool.
It's The Rock. It's not close. The first pick is The Rock. You know when it's happening, when it comes out, you hear that, and you're like, oh my gosh. I've watched so many WrestleManias with just him doing that, and you know, can you smell what The Rock is cooking? He has one of the best personalities, best, you know, like aura in wrestling. Like, you know when The Rock is in the building. He does. I can't even do the eyebrow thing he does, but it was cold. The Rock is the number one pick, and it's not close.
And like from like a perspective of like which songs are like the best, for sure, I get it. He was able to supersede, and like now you see him in all these movies doing all this public speaking engagements. I mean, he's become so much bigger, but it's like for me personally, I'll go to say he's none of that without the time and dedication to the WWF and then the WWE. But yeah, I mean he's a legend. No, there's no question. Yeah, an icon.
I can't be mad at it, like for real. Like that's a solid one. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was number 2 on my list. But I can't be mad at the pick. That and with 2 others that I have, they're like 3. Like that's all you need to hear. Like you said, if you smell, you hear that, you already know what's happening.
Yeah, you know
There's a couple more, like that first note, you know what it is, you know what time it is. There's no guesswork. And I do like that what Kurt said about like like there's no Rock, there's no Dwayne Johnson without the WWF, WWE. And I think he said that plenty of times. And it's been awesome, like over this last year, to see him actually back. Like when he came back out last year, oh my God. Like again, transports you back to being a kid again and being that excited. And it's just crazy that like he has one of those intros that will do that for you. He can go away from wrestling for years and years and years, and he come back, you hear that, you already know what time it is.
Oh, who's coming out? He has a TV show, Young Rock or whatever, and it goes through his life. And I haven't got to the episode yet where he picks his like actual songs and stuff, but I know it's coming and it's gonna be great.
It's a really good show. Yeah. I was sick when I found out that it was ending. We watched it weekly. It's great.
Next up, we had it your way.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I saw how the draft order shook out, I wasn't optimistic. I was gonna get this one, even sitting at number 2. And me and my wife walked into our reception to this one. Like this is one of those that once you hear it, you know what it is, and it takes only a second. And it's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Those 2 are the first 2.
We coming down. We drinking beer. We coming in to give out a couple stunners. We gonna drink a couple more beers, and then we out of there. Like Stone Cold Steve Austin was my favorite WWF WWE personality. Like I kid you not. Like being him, like shooting the birds, talking the head movement, and all, like listen. And then the King of the Ring moment when he won that really put him on the map, and he said Austin 316, I just whooped your like, and that's what made him become Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he really took off from there. And I hate that we got to mention the gross person, but let's be honest, wrestling isn't wrestling without Vince McMahon, and his rivalry that he had with Vince McMahon throughout his entire career was crazy. Like nobody got to stand up to the boss, beat the boss up, and do what they wanted to do like Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I think that's another thing that really got right. You couldn't. That's what another thing that really like had a lot of people wrapped up into it because they seeing probably stuff that they want to do and they 9 to 5 and they can't do. So they gonna go watch Stone Cold Steve Austin at night, go beat up their boss so they can live vicariously through him. But for me, as far as wrestling intros, wrestling things go, I don't think there's anything that compares to Stone Cold Steve Austin and the glass shattering and him walking out there again. Like Stone Cold, I think is unmatched.
I rock with Stone Cold, but just let me say it like this. When I think of like, nah, I'm gonna save it for you. I'm gonna save it for you. He's a strong up there. Is he number 2 for me? Nah. I know who
he was number 1 on mine. I told you Rocky was number 2 on mine. Like those are two though that you hear them right away. You know what's going down. So yeah, that was.
Let's see what Chris does because I think there's one.
Oh, I'm not ready to go past Stone Cold yet. I mean, I feel like Stone Cold is the number 1 pick.
That's interesting.
Only if we're talking theme songs, and for a few reasons, he's got so many of the. He might be just coming out of the tunnel and down the ramp, or he might be in a 4-wheeler, or he might be in the back of the ambulance, or he might be. I mean, when you hear that, you do not know what's getting ready to happen. 1, 2, you know somebody's getting that stunner, and they're gonna be out for the count. And 3, it's time to drink. Bro, come on, bro. Come on. He's sitting there, he's catching them from 40 feet. Whoever the announcer is, bro, you can't beat that, bro.
It's wild.
All right, I just, man, this takes me back. Mine probably wouldn't make anybody's top 10, maybe, but for me, the same way y'all know me, y'all like my sports teams are my teams. It wasn't for those watching Request a Good Company don't know, I live in Kentucky, born and raised. Not a Kentucky fan, not a Louisville fan. I be wanting my own stuff. Why? Hey, that's probably for a whole nother episode. But while those were like iconic, the one that stood out to me was like who I felt was coming in and next up on SmackDown. Got the cutoff t-shirt on and some Adidas sweats, and he's ready to rock. It's up. And you hear and he's got the board or whatever it is on the shirt, and you just hear the little guitar riff, and then it's dum, 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 dum. Brock, what?
Here comes the pain. And from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing in at 295 pounds, is the WWE champion, Brock Lesnar.
The way he was coming in the game, down the ramp, whatever's going on in the ring, he gonna put you on his shoulders. He just gonna flip you, and he's done with you. So for me, pick number 3, just personal to me, with that being like the changing of the guard for when I was kind of old enough to pick, like, okay, who's gonna be my guy? Pick number 3 in round 1, Brock Lesnar's intro.
That's terrible.
I'll be honest with you, on my list of 17.
I feel it's definitely not one of those that remember, but for me, it means something for me.
I feel it. I honestly, when you was describing them, like the way you were like the cutoff and the Adidas sweat, I thought you was going RVD. I'll be honest with you. I thought you were about to go RVD. Yeah, and I knew that too. That's why I thought you were going there as well. But I mean, I can't be mad at the Brock Lesnar pick. But like I said, I got 17 other ones that I think of way before I get to Brock.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I could hear it, but it ain't memorable. Like when it hits, I'm not afraid. Like I'm not worried if my best fighter's in the ring and I hear that. I'm like,
the tag team partners there. You like, nah, we good. We can handle Brock.
Who's that?
I will say that you must not have watched from like
Bryan. He's huge.
2017 to 2022 because yeah, he was a part-time wrestler, but that would hit. He come out there, hit you with the F5, and then send you to Suplex City, and then he gonna walk out.
I
As
think
the champ at that.
if we had did like wrestlers like top moves, then maybe like he might be in conversation. But I don't think. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
The best part is like when we go back and are like listening to him and you hear it, you're gonna be like, it's gonna kick back. It's gonna be like, oh dang, that's tough.
You said something about wrestling moves. That sounds like another episode of request.
We might because for me, for me, I'd have a whole different list. Like round two, pick number one. Coming back, I ain't get ready to sing it because it's like y'all gonna be like, all right, Kurt, we get it. The champ is here by John.
And their partner from West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing in at 248 pounds, John Cena.
Because it's just got that, dun, 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 dun. And it's like, oh man, it's just got that I'd say specific to like the music and like the intro of this one, it's got that build up as opposed to like it doesn't have that glass smash like Stone Cold. It doesn't have the guitar riff the same way Brock does, but it's got that grandiose build up to it where it's like, man, here he comes, like champ is here. And this is kind of in alignment with that sort of that new era to wrestling that meant so much to me. Like there definitely all the retro ones are always going to be special to me, but like John Cena, I just feel like he was at the top of his game, and when you heard that, you just knew. But I like the horns in it too. Like I like all the elements of the actual song.
So I feel that John Cena, I feel like that's a first round pick. I was low key debating John Cena in the first round pick one because of Iconic, and they use his theme song in commercials. They like, I think
exactly
his theme song might have made him like more than like this or his like skits and such. I think more so the song resonate, and then he wanted to be a rapper. So like I just think that song is iconic. And that's another one where you hear it and you're like, I'm scared for my wrestler who's in the ring right now. Like,
I think it's a solid reminder of the transition of John Cena because if you remember when he first came out, he had the little flat top buzz cut going on, had the regular trunks that other wrestlers was already wearing, and he came out there to answer Kurt Angle, and he was like, "Kid, what sets you apart?" And it's the ruthless aggression. And then you see him transition into the Doctor of Thugonomics in that wrestling, the rapping with the wrestling and the jean shorts and the chains
and the jersey
and the hats
and
like the jean shorts and like the pump ups or whatever he had with the like that kind of stayed with him to who he is now. And like seeing John Cena come back now this year, it's his last year wrestling. He's retiring at the end of this year. But that song is still lit. It's like you see like non-wrestling fanatics know that John Cena song, and they will call it a banger themselves. And it also is cool that he's the one that's rapping on there. Like I like when the wrestlers' voices are the ones that are on there. Like I've got a couple other ones on here that are similar to that, may not make the cut, but I do like that aspect of it. And John Cena, like you said, you hear that little build up to it, and then the sprint to the ring with it when he slide in there. Yeah. So I've never been a huge John Cena fan as the wrestler. I understand what he means to the business, but his intro, I understand why you appreciate it as well. So I can't be mad at that. Not for a second round pick at the top. And like Avery said, I would have understood if that was your first pick.
Yeah.
But it wasn't true to me like Brock would. I mean, it's still my second, but that Brock, bro, y'all wasn't there, man.
Chris said he want Iguodala.
That's fine.
In the
That's
first round.
fine.
He want Iguodala.
You can have it. But yeah, nah, seen a solid pick there.
Be who you got.
Oh man, I got this one on my list, and it wasn't in my top five, but going off of feel, this one for me is almost as close as Stone Cold Steve Austin's, and it's because, huh?
You about to steal my pick.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. They were a part of a group. They're my favorite tag team. And I went back and forth on if I wanted to take the group song or if I just wanted to take the tag team song. And I'm gonna take the tag team song. Is the New Age Outlaws. Oh, you didn't know?
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody. Many consider this team the greatest tag team champions in WWF history. It's me! It's me!
They my favorite tag team of all time. And Road Dogg walking to the ring with the mic, talking trash as he's coming down there. Like, it was incredible. Like, and they finished it with, if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. And just like knowing what he was and knowing how cool that was, I almost said a swear word. Sorry. This is for the internet. But no, man, New Age Outlaws. That's one of those picks, like the field, the ones that mean a lot to me. I grew up loving them. I love their tag team moves. I love them as a unit. I love them in Generation X. I almost picked the full group song, but I'm going with "Oh You Didn't Know" by New Age Outlaws as my second pick.
That's a fair pick. I wouldn't have picked it this early, but
I know
we going on feelings in this draft now. It's no longer about competition. We are just doing nostalgia. That's what it feels like we're getting into. So my picks have changed since that. So, but Chris, what you got on?
Well, I just want to know who were the other New Age Outlaws, because I remember
it was Road Dogg Jesse James. It was Road Dogg Jesse James and Badass Billy Gunn were the New Age Outlaws, or Mr. Ass, as he saw, the one with the lips. He had his own music by himself that was more like rock. But yeah, nah, this one here, man, New Age Outlaws, Road Dogg walking down. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know? Well, your ass better call somebody and just hear that. And then, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, proudly present. Oh, God, sorry. Let me go ahead, man. Go ahead. Yeah.
I think it's so funny because, like, when we get into my pick, you'll see, like, I feel like we have this set memory of, like, these songs that do, like, extended words. So with my pick in the second round, well, it's the Big Show.
What on earth was that? I have no idea, but I know what this is. The Big Show, baby! And Big Show has put his career on the line tonight! The following non-title contest is scheduled for...
I get hyped every time. Every time. Big Show. And I think with the Big Show, it's the world, and then you know that this huge monster is coming out that looks bigger than anybody else in the wrestling ring. And if you watch like any of his like WrestleManias or anything like that, it's always like Big Show and like the second or third person out where 3 or 4 people got to attack this big guy. So the Big Show is someone who puts fear into people when you hear that. Whoa. And then the song is like low-key, almost a little country, but it's the well that gets me every time. The Big Show.
I think that one fits Big Show so well. Just like that, I mean, not even yodel, but just that swelling of that part of the song. And then it's like, yeah, you got this dude larger than life just coming out, and it's like, what in the world are like what are we gonna do with this? Like, this dude 7 whatever, 3.5 bills, like, and will choke slam and body slam. I've seen him get on the top rope before. Some of my fond memories of him are when the ring collapsed off a move with him and my guy. And so
Yeah, with the yeah.
so I mean stuff like that. I'm just that's cool, man.
I'm not mad at the pick. The Big Show actually has another fun childhood memory for me. As a girl that went to high school with us, they called her the Big Show. But she was
Oh,
tall. She was tall. Like, and that's why I remember the Big Show. But yeah, no, I can appreciate it because it definitely is one of those ones. Like once you like, it doesn't take long to realize who's coming out there, and I think that's part of the problem with a lot of wrestling today. I don't know if you guys watched the Royal Rumble recently, but a lot of people were like, "Bro, I had to wait to see who it was because I didn't recognize the song." And like the people that are making the music now for WWE, they're catching so much flack. I think the group is called Def Rebel. All of the songs are essentially the same. They like you really don't know who it is. There's nothing that really sets them apart unless they have something at the beginning that says their name. Like there's one chick, Tiffany Stratton, hers is it's Tiffy time, but the music sucks after. And like all these other people, like all of them has their name or what they like they have some little phrase right at the beginning, but it's very generic. And then their music hits, and you're like, who's this again? Like, but yeah, so like big shows like that, like you said, him belting that word, I'd imagine that's probably like the only part of the song he might actually be on. But yeah, I get it. I can see why too.
But
and it's and from a I could see where they ran into some licensing issues where the song was cool until all this information came out about Vince. Now, whatever artist might be like, "Hey, I can't use my song no more." It's like,
Amy.
yeah, like who knows? Like
Jim Johnson ain't like that though. That was the one that I think it was Jim Johnson and Motorhead that made a lot of the songs for WWF, WWE. Um, and nah, they just like while Vince was there, actually, that's when they transitioned to use the Def Rebel. And now everybody's like, man, I'd be glad when they contract run out so we can go back to getting good ones. Like people that start in like NXT, they'll have certain songs that you get used to that you really like, and then they'll come up to the main roster and they end up changing it to something Def Rebel made, and it's trash. But yeah, like Jim Johnson should have never retired because he was making bangers. He was the one that made like the Triple H joints, the it's all about the like all those the ones that we heard in the early 2000s, up to like maybe the early 2010. Like Jim Johnson was on it. I'm sure he made plenty of money from the WWF and WWE making great music for them. Who's back on? Oh, it's on Avery. Round 3.
Round 3, first pick. So I will obviously have some honorable mentions, but this next one for me is going to be my feel-good pick. In a time when I was started watching wrestling, there was this black dude named Booker T. And I felt like he was the only black dude on there. And he said, "Can you dig it, sucker? And then it went crazy.
sucker.
And I got Sophie finally saying, "Sucker?" She'd be like, "Sucker?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." So Booker T, and he's King Booker now, right? But he was the most wildest guy. And they got a clip of him that go viral where he's like, he says a word and he like tries to catch himself. He's like, "Oh."
Mm-hmm.
And that went viral.
Hogan, we coming for you. Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he ain't say it. Mm.
It was funny. But yeah, but Booker T, man, he's iconic, bro, for me. Because I felt like he stood out. I mean, I felt like there wasn't many like black wrestlers for real. So yeah, he was there.
It wasn't. But as someone that watched both WCW, which is where he got to start with his brother Stevie Ray, before WWE bought WCW, like it felt very obvious that WCW was trying to have Booker T be what The Rock was, which is crazy. But when he was in his tag team Harlem Heat with his brother, that song before the Can You Dig It, like it was just the music that went with it was. Yeah, you didn't hear much like it, and there weren't many people that looked like them that was wrestling. So I get why that would mean something to like, and also Booker T cool. But now he's back to being Booker T. He is a commentator for NXT, and he is hilarious.
Oh, I
Listen,
believe.
if you got a free couple hours on a Tuesday night and you can watch the CW, tune in to watch Booker T carry on. Booker T is that man. Like, I know I'm gonna say this one because I know that this guys won't get drafted because I doubt that you guys probably watch NXT right now with Trick Williams. But there is a black dude. He's from South Carolina. His name is Trick Williams, and he has this real like hard rap song that comes out, but it's just a beat. And you can imagine with a name like Trick, somebody was gonna finally do it. So like in between like each beat drop, he's like, "Whoop that Trick, yeah, whoop!" Like the crowd is chanting, "Whoop that Trick," but Booker T's like, "Yeah, I like it. Oh yeah, man, that's Trick." And Booker T adds to it, so he's been able to keep that type of personality, like even into his older age as a commentator. But Booker T, yeah. Tell me what yours is, and I won't pick it because I got put. No, I'm just kidding. But I know this could probably be an honorable mention, but just for the state of wrestling right now, and he's one of my favorite wrestlers right now. He's newer to the WWE main roster, like he just came up from NXT just last year. But it's a guy that goes by the name of Carmelo Hayes, and it's because he's rapping. And it is like once you listen to the song, you will absolutely understand why. He's talking trash. He's him. When he was in NXT, he was hanging jerseys in the rafters. Like that was his intro.
And his opponent from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing in at 210 pounds, he is the NXT champion, Carmelo Hayes!
JP, you know I hope.
And like he comes out, like his song goes something like, "Cause I'm the greatest, ain't no hating, I'm the best, yeah. You want your shot, well, I guess you'll wait till next year." And it says something like, and it ends up going like some, "Get respect while I get fear. You want to get in line, tell him to step here." And like he's talking trash, and like he is just this black dude, got a straight back braid that go to the knot, as Tanika calls it. You say you got the bleep button, be ready. The fuck boy haircut, like what? He is just him, and he talks trash, and he be flying around the ring. I really do like Carmelo Hayes. He's probably my favorite wrestler out right now, so I had to pick my boy Carmelo. But I figured I'd also do you a favor, Kurt, and pick somebody that just to make sure I ain't get yours.
His theme song is like "I Don't Miss" or something like that.
Yes, Mello don't miss.
Yeah.
And listen, you're gonna be listening to it on Apple Music when you're driving down the road tomorrow. After you listen to it this one time, you're gonna be playing in the car.
I'm torn between two, but man, I'm so torn. I'm gonna go with, because it was probably my favorite era. I was just so tuned in, and there were so many pieces to it to figure. I mean, looking back now, it's a lot more obvious, but when you're a kid, you're right along with the storyline. And when you can't figure something out, you're like, okay, well, who did it, basically? And my favorite storyline was when HBK, Heartbreak Kid, hurt his neck, and they've got all this security footage, and it's cut to a perfect point that you can't necessarily see exactly who did it, and you can't necessarily see, like, okay, where'd that come from? And it's like, and he's coming out, and he's on the mic, and he's over, and they're doing these cut scenes, and they're just trying to figure out, was it this person? And it's all these accusations, and y'all all know, everybody knows somebody who will steal something from you and help you look for it. It's like, man, like, they can't stand that. But there's something about being a villain that I enjoy, that whenever Triple H was like, "Sean, I don't know who did it. We got to figure it out." And then once it's finally revealed that it's Triple H, I think his theme music is so fitting for him. It's all about the game and how you play it. Like,
Well, he paid for it. Yeah, that backfired. Time to play the game. From Greenwich, Connecticut, weighing in at 272 pounds, Triple H.
like, and for him to come out with that, and then he's gonna stand on the end of the ring and do the mist, and Oh man, that's iconic because the camera would always pan to where like you see the ring from so far away and you see 40, 50,000 people and and then you just see that mist and it's just like, man, that I feel like the words in that song, in that song specifically, are that just tells a story about him because he believes that like you hear that phrase, don't hate the player, hate the game. He means, and for him to like take over the ranks, like take over what Vince started, is like he plays the game. It's all about the game and how you play it. And I just appreciate that from it's not that glass shattering. It's not that broad, but it's still a fire theme song to me. So that's my last pick. And I got my honorable mention's gonna be just as fire, but that's my pick, man.
I can't be mad at the Triple H pick. He was on my list. Right outside my top 10. But I was waiting to see which one you chose because the one like right after DX and him becoming the game, that is the one for him. But the other one that he ended up getting, his King of Kings, the bow down to the king. Yeah, that one right there. That's the one he ended up using towards the end of his career. And it was, to me, it was equally as awesome. I don't think Triple H has had a bad intro song yet. And he's like, it's just choosing which one you want. And it's funny you said something about the miss with Triple H because there was a funny moment from COVID. You know, they moved into the Thunderdome and he was coming out to do like his intro, like explaining what things are going to be like, during times of COVID. And he's walking down, he's got his suit on, he's got the bottle of water. He gets ready to go take a sip out of it. And you just see this production team member come walk by and take the bottle of water. Like, nah, we can't do this. COVID's happening. You can't be spitting. And you just see him kind of toss the cap up in the air and then go and get in the ring. But like just that right there, because people are waiting on that. Like Triple H, if he got on the suit, if he about to wrestle, don't matter what he about ready to do. That was a part of his entrance, and you knew that was coming in. Like, and then the flex with it and all. Like,
Yeah,
so
come on, man.
like
It is
that was a part of Triple H, huh?
It's the wrestling equivalence of the LeBron James.
Oh, I don't disagree whatsoever with that. Like if he wasn't gonna do nothing else, he was gonna have a great intro song. He was gonna have that spitting water, and then he was gonna pedigree you and go away.
That pedigree was nasty work.
But yeah, I
Bro,
can appreciate the Triple H.
finishers pod is it's gonna take me back just like this one.
Good episode. Bryan,
this was
thank
fun.
you for being on Requesting Good Company. Obviously, we're gonna run this back when we do the other one, but that's another episode of Requesting Good Company because we're always requesting good company.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.